Hi there. I have a few minutes between appointments. I'm actually just sitting here in the car waiting on time to go in. And I thought it was a great time to jump in on the discussion about travel safety. I've seen several people talking lately about how what you should do and what's safe when you're traveling by yourself. And since I do that a lot, I thought I would just share a few of my tips and tricks and what I do for my own safety reasons. So, one thing I do when I'm traveling by myself is I drive usually. Nothing against flying. It's just I go a lot of places that are close by, and I tend to like the flexibility of knowing exactly when I'm going to get there. My luggage, especially when I pack my ears, I need special luggage for that, and I just don't want to check all of that. So, I'm a driver. So, when I drive to Disney, it usually takes me about 8 hours. I make my plan ahead of time. I have a few people that I have said that I'm going to check in with. I have friends and family members that expect to hear from me in certain increments of time. That way they know if they haven't, they know that there might be something going on. For instance, I usually will send a text when I stop off for gas or for a bathroom break or whatever, or for food, and say, hey, I'm in such and such city, travel's going well, things like that. Something else I do, and now this one isn't for everybody. This one would totally depend on your family and how you feel. We in my family have a networking app where we can enable our location to be tracked. When I drive by myself, I use that. I know I'm very lucky. My family is not invasive. They don't get into my life too much like that. So, but when I'm driving, I can turn that on. So say I've had a longer stretch of having to stop. I haven't texted in 2 hours. They can say, oh, here she is. She's on the road. Everything must be fine. We know she'll check in soon. It actually is pretty cool because when I went to Disney in 2020, my mother used that and showed it to my niece and was able to show her everywhere I was, which made her feel very good. She was very happy with that knowledge. Throughout my trip, I also check in. I'm not talking like the check-in on social media or whatever, which I do that, but not much. I mean, I'll do the selfie on the way to the park type thing. That's pretty much what I do. I've been doing that for a few years, and it's fun. I enjoy it. Plus, it gives me a chronicalization of what ears did I wear that day, which if you've seen my ear videos, you understand why. But I have a few friends that I will check in with throughout the day. I mean, we talk constantly anyway, and that's not going to change just because I'm on vacation. I still need to, if something's going on, I'm still going to talk to them. As a matter of fact, I had a long conversation in line last year for Rise of the Resistance with one of my friends about whether or not Salacious Crumb could have survived the explosion of the barge during Return of the Jedi. So obviously they knew I was safe because I was texting. When I choose my hotel, that's another thing I do for safety. Because even though I stay on Disney property, when you're in the Disney bubble, yes, you feel safer. But you still have to not make yourself look like a victim. And how do I do that? I choose a resort that isn't as sprawling as some. Some of them, you are so far out and you have to catch a bus to get to the main area. And alone, I'm not going to stay someplace like that. Alone, I'm going to stay where it's all pretty much centrally located. If I can't walk from my room to the main hall within 5 minutes, I'm not going to stay there as a solo traveler. Another thing I do, if I cannot get the preferred building in those kinds of resorts, I make sure I at least have a pool view, because the doors would open to the pool. Where are you going to find the most people? At the pool. That way I am within view. You're less likely to have something bad happen if people can see where you are when it happens. That's a major deterrent to people. Another bit of safety I do as far as within my hotel room itself, obviously I use the Disney safe. I do all of that. I do all the locks on the doors. I keep my windows closed, all those normal things. But I also have a few items that are made for safety in hotel rooms, as far as extra things to put on the door to make sure nobody can get in, to make it alert you if somebody tries to get in. I take those extra precautions too. I mean, I do that anyway, even if I'm not staying by myself. There are certain things you do for safety no matter what. I know I've mentioned staying within the Disney bubble and you feel safer. Yes, you are safer than if you are just like out in the world somewhere, because you do know that there are more people around. There are cameras. Are you 100% safe all the time? No. There are still people. People are dangerous, y'all. People are dangerous. But if I stay within the Disney bubble and I'm not driving, I'm not leaving that area. I'm not going to be getting in and out of my car in a dark parking lot in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to be around people. I use the Disney transportation once I'm on site. I take those kinds of precautions. Even with all the precautions I take as far as picking a room, staying in the bubble, using the transportation, and all of that, you still got to not look like a victim. So how do you do that? You stay engaged. Like when I'm walking someplace, I'm paying attention to what's around me. For one thing, why wouldn't you? It's Disney World. I mean, I know I said I keep in touch with my friends and stuff while I'm on vacation, but yeah, that's going to be when I'm waiting in the 30-minute long line for the bus or something like that, where I'm just kind of chilling and I got nothing else to do. Yeah, sure. That's when you check in with your friends. But if I'm walking through Fantasyland, I'm not texting. I'm looking around me. I'm looking for characters. I'm laughing. I'm watching children watch everything, because obviously their innocence, how they look at things, that's part of the joy. So I stay engaged with my surroundings. I know who's around me. I know if somebody's getting close to me. I know if somebody's followed me, things like that. You still got to be vigilant. Another thing I do, and this goes into the don't be a victim area, which obviously not victim shaming. We can do what we can to stay safe, but obviously it is on the person who does the violence that they're the bad person here. But anyway, I do carry, especially when I'm traveling by myself driving, I will have self-defense items on my person. I do that within all legal guidelines. I do not, please stay safe, but do it legally. I do not go outside of what the guidelines are allowed for Disney property either. Obviously, I'm being vague here because I don't want to give away all my secrets. Because, the bad guys hear that too. So me just saying I do follow self-defense guidelines, I am prepared, is what I'll say for that. So basically, safety. Travel safety by yourself, with a group. Check in with people who are at home. Make sure somebody knows where you're going. Be vigilant. Keep an eye around you. Don't ignore warning signs. And stay in the public areas. That's going to help you stay safer. That keeps my family more secure when I go off by myself. Things like that. And you can keep yourself as safe as possible. Can something happen? Yeah, anything can happen. I mean, my goodness, I'm sitting in my car right now waiting to go in for an appointment, and a tree could fall on me. And, there's not much I can do about that. Or a light pole. I'm closer to a light pole. But anyway, if you take the steps you can to be safe, then you're going to have peace of mind. And chances are very good nothing's ever going to happen. But if you don't take those precautions and something does happen, then you'll wonder. So yeah, just do that. Keep an eye on your surroundings, know where you're going, have a plan, check in with people, let them know you're safe. That's even good if you're traveling with someone, because things happen to anybody. But you can stay safe on a trip wherever you go with other people or even by yourself. Another thing I do when I'm on the road, beyond, of course, checking in when I stop, is I'm careful about where I stop. So I call them bright and shiny gas stations. I like to stop at gas stations rather than travel stops. For one thing, usually I need to get gas and I need to buy something else to eat or drink while I'm on the road. So it's easier for me to stop at a service station. But I like to stop at the ones that, are light. and have security cameras and more people and a little bit less sketch. You know, for one thing, I know that it'll have a clean bathroom. Another thing, I know that they probably have a corporate overlord who is keeping track of things. So that's one of my other things. I especially love Buc-ee's. So I know that between my house and Disney, there are multiple Buc-ee's. And if you don't think I don't stop at each one of those because it's Buc-ee's and they got those beaver nuggets and the really good stuff, then you're crazy. I do. I stop at the Buc-ee's. But that's what I mean. You stop at a place where you're seen, where there's more people. You're not on your own. You're not going off into some dark little alleyway type spot. That's dangerous. So yeah, that's basically, you know, my thoughts on travel safety and how to keep yourself safe when you are out on your own. Honestly, a lot of those things apply to just your day-to-day business, as far as not being in places that could help you get hurt.